Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Today, let's take the space shuttle to the political moon. The question today is going to be, we're going to find out of the three major candidates, Biden, Trump, and Harris. What would be their greatest weakness? What is their weakness for each of those? Alright, we're going to shuffle the cards. And first we're going to find out, what is President Biden's weakness? Greatest weakness. I mean, nobody's perfect, but we all have pluses and minuses. So let's find out, for the masses, the public, what do they perceive, whatever the word is, of President Joe Biden's greatest weakness? Just, alright, shuffle. Let's see if we can get like a clue. What is it? Oh, and we should also do, before, like we got four candidates. Kennedy. We're putting Kennedy too in this. But we're going to do President Bush. What a slip. President Biden. We're going to do Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, and Robert Kennedy Jr. Right, there's four. That changes it. All right, let's go first. Biden. 3-card reading. All right, let's see see what the message is that we get. King of Wands. Pretty good. We have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups. And then we have the 8 of Cups. That's a little ambiguous. We have fire and we have water. Which means, what is fire? I mean, how do you put out a fire? By putting some water on it. So this is like, with all the support he has, there's something major that's not going according to the plan. So what is, let's examine first of all the 9 of Cups and seeing if that's a positive or a negative. 9 of Cups. Let's see. No, 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Let's see. 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. All right. Then Queen of Pentacles. The female vote. The females. Maybe the females want someone who has a little bit more like vigor, or at least appears to be. The female, the receptive. And then we have here, the Magician. Does he still have that magic? Still no clue. Here we have, why are the people walking away? Well, Joe's been around politics for a long time. He has his supporters, he has his friend base. And he's always been able to deliver at a cue time, for the most part. And that's a plus. So why do we have people in the 8 of Cups splitting? Let's see what that is. Alright, let's take this one. We have here, again, we have here the 9 of Pentacles. And the Fool. I think it's age, the Fool. Showing that, like, yesterday is yesterday and today is today. So I would say the biggest thing about Joe, his biggest weakness would be his age. Because it's apparent that, like, he's not the man he once was. And people are like, and the circumstances have changed too, from like when he was touting this and that. It's like being real progressive, keeping up with the times. So I would say, according to this read, his biggest weakness would be his age. Alright, so let's try the next person. Let's try, shuffle these cards, stick them in. Let's do Donald Trump. What would be, what is, not what will be, what is the biggest weakness to a Donald Trump winning the 2024 president election? What would be the biggest weakness? Alright, let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, Donald Trump, what would be the biggest weakness? You can also switch this around to what would be his biggest asset. But right now we're dealing with, like, the minuses, the subtractions to the gloss. Alright, let's see. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Donald Trump. Okay. Okay, first we have the star. We have, this could be like the healing effect of Donald Trump from Joe Biden. Okay. Now, let's go a little further. Strength. Okay, so we have Strength. These are two high-ranking cards. Strength. This is kind of not yet showing us his weakness, or what it is his weakness. Let's finish the thing let's finish the 3-card read before we stump for it and find out and examine it. Let's see. All right. Oh, I got 2. Oh, I picked up 2. So I'll have to view them together. All right. Now, this is from a 3-card read. This is turning out to be a 4-card read. Now, I picked these up together, being the 3rd card read. So, intensively, the Tower would be the 3rd card. And then we have the 2 of Wands. Strong cards. All strong. Star, Strength, the Healing Star, the Strength, and then we have the Tower. Everything falling apart. But we also have a lookout for something coming up. I would say, so far, based on this read, I would say that the fact that unity and the healing of the country, that you never know when everything's going to just implode with Donald Trump. So I would say his enemies, his hit list, or the hit list against him, I would say there's just so much distraction. So I would say it would be the distraction. You never know what's going to be hitting, or what's going to, Donald Trump will have the next day. What's going to be in your face with the next day. So I would say the unsteadiness of his base, or his anti-base, his enemies. I would say that. So I'm going to say that he gives a lot of confidence, but the fact that he has a lot of enemies. I mean, you could say like, oh, so many billionaires have like lots of enemies. Yeah, but his are actually crunching him. So I would say too that we don't know exactly with all his civil trials when they will end. We don't know. We don't know when they will end. And will they continue into the elections? So that's the unknown factor of like of his trial base. So that's the legal, his opposition. His opposition is like out for blood. And we don't know. We don't know. Are they going to make a martyr or what? Okay. So I would say his enemies are great. His enemies. And I would say Biden is his age. All right, let's do Robert Kennedy Jr. All right? Robert Kennedy. What is his greatest weakness? We're shuffling the cards, and we're still on planet politics. So let's go to Robert Kennedy. What is Robert Kennedy's greatest weakness for going into the elections or being considered for a nomination for president? Okay, so let's do it. Okay, Robert Kennedy. 1, 2, 3. All right, first. The struggle says it all between, you know, third party candidate, or affiliating himself with either party, Dems or Republicans. Something's up. We have here the 9 of Swords. What is this? This is the 9 of Wands. Well, at the end we have the Knight of Pentacles. It almost feels as though, okay, we have fire, wind, and earth. Okay, so whatever it is, it's not going to be diminished. We have something coming, some information coming up about Kennedy. Let's take quickly. Let's take a little bit more investigation, because let's just see what his 9 of Wands, the burden. Let's see, take right here. Let's see what the 9 of Swords. What the hell is he regretting? What is the mass, like, oh my God, type moment, or something? Could it be his legacy itself, or what? Take these two, and we'll do 2 more. All right. Let's see now something about this Knight of Pentacles. What is this message? Since he hasn't been really that open, I mean, he has in one way, but he has still kept a lot of like history undisclosed about himself. This wants to come out. Okay, so flip them. And we have here for the his friends. Are they really his friends? So on the struggles, we have here, are his friends his friends? We have the Eight of Swords and we have the Six of Swords. Are his friends really helping him in this quest? That could be his struggle, his friends list, his donors, his support, his supporters. And here we have our burden, our like difficulty. Our difficulty is like there's never ending. We have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Eight of Cups. Infighting in his thing. So he doesn't have a steady base. His base is unsteady. And here we have the message. We have the Knight of Swords, the King of Wands, and we have the Six. Okay. So I would say that his biggest weakness is his past relationships. That's I would say his past relationships, not his current, but his past. And he's just trying to like, that's okay. I would say his past associations, because if he could like get that together, we could see something could change. But I would say his past relationships is the biggest problem with him, his biggest weakness. All right, let's do now Kamala and see what Kamala what her biggest weakness would be. First, let me take these cards and move them around a bit. And yeah, what would Kamala Harris, her biggest weakness be? What would the cards say? The spirits say his biggest weakness, her biggest weakness would be to the voters, to the American people. What would our first female president's greatest weakness would be to the American public? Alright. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Alright. Let's pick 3 cards. 1. Let's see. 2. Kamala Harris. What would your biggest weakness be? Alright. Plan, looking ahead, focusing, organizing, and being first. We have the Empress, and we have looking for planning and looking, the planning committee, and being first. Her biggest weakness could be, just off the cuff, could be just being first, and not just being first. Number one, I'm first, but what's behind that first? I mean, what is it? So what? You're the first. Okay, so then what? After you become the first, what then? I ate the first. I am first. I'm first in line. So what? It all starts. The show starts at the same time. So let's. So I would say her planning and her looking ahead and being obsessed with, I would say, besides being obsessed with being the first female president, it's like, what is your message? What is your plans? What are your plans? So I would say her biggest weakness would be her agenda. Her convincing the masses that she knows damn well what she's talking about. So we have here, okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Ten of Cups. They're canceling each other. So I would say, based on this, you have a lot of things going for you, obviously. However, the message is not clear beyond being first. So communication is essential. Her communication platform is her greatest weakness right now, because we all can hear and know there's steps involved. And what are they? Organization, to what end? Planning, for what reason? Not just to be the first. Okay, so if you enjoyed, that's it for our political weakness candidates. What are their greatest weakness? Thank you very much. Let's end it. Let's get back on the spaceship and go back to Earth. Thank you very much.